What if you had your own variant cover? Who would you commission and what book would you choose? Stay tuned to find out my choices. Hey there, comic fam. Welcome back to Climbing Comics. I'm Alan, and in today's sesh, I'll be answering another compelling question brought to me by a good buddy of mine, Pretty Fly for a Filipino Guy. The compelling question was, what if I had my own variant cover? Who would I choose to do the cover, do the interior, and, to flesh it out even more? What title would I do? As many of you know, previously we've done a couple of what if types of questions. First off, what if we owned a comic shop? What would we have in it? Secondly, what if we swapped an Avengers character with a JLA member? And my buddy Johnny and I had a really fun time talking about these two big questions. And I think I got a lot of cool comments about who people would choose and what people would want in their comic book shops. So to keep that fun trend going, I wanted to bring on my guest, Johnny, to the show again.
Hey, Alan.
Hey there, Johnny. How's it going?
Good. Excited to talk about artists with you.
Yes. Man, it's this guy, Pretty Fly for a Filipino Guy. He has all of these really good questions, and he's just like, it's funny because I talked to him on Instagram about these types of things, and it's fun to hear your perspective because I think everyone kind of has their own, like, some people lean more DC, some people lean more Marvel, and so on and so forth, or modern, or kind of the older artists. So
Right.
I thought this was a really fun.
Yeah, and especially in today's market where you see a gajillion variant covers. Like among those variant covers are the variant covers that retailers will reach out to an artist and ask them to and like commission them to do a cover, which is so cool, right? It's like it, to me it used to be this black box of like, oh hey, there's this cover now, but now like we get to control that process. It's kind of neat.
Yeah, it's kind of nuts because even like the retailers obviously have their covers. Like a couple of our LCSs had pretty cool collaborations with local artists or with just artists in general. And I do know, like, there are some people on YouTube that have a fairly big following that end up making their own exclusive variant covers. So it's a lot of work, but it definitely can be done. So yeah,
what would be your artist that you would ask to make your cover?
All right, I have to preface it with this, right? Because my favorite artists may not be on or may be on this list, but okay, my normal answer would be Pepe Larraz, right? He's my favorite artist, right? But
cool.
I did not choose him. I did not choose him for my cover artist. He's great at interiors. I love his styling. His style very much reminds me of like what I remember in the 90s. But looking at the cover art of different people I've looked at today, I asked myself, should I go for a more Silver Age type artist or more modern age type artist? So an artist that is very compelling to me, and I brought an example of his, is Clayton Crane. So I will be like, so you can kind of see here, this is Justice League Dark number 12 and his Swamp Thing variant, and it's very striking. Just like when I look at it, it's not like Alex Ross type of like like oil painting art, but it definitely has that kind of feel that this is a piece of art you could hang up. Well, a lot of the artists are, but
this one's like a portrait.
A portrait, and it's just like I could stare at this.
When I think of Clayton Crane, I think of also Venom and Carnage, right? He did a lot of those covers, I think.
He has a couple of them.
Yeah, it looks very fluid. It looks kind of real almost, right?
Yeah.
I can see the comparison to Alex Ross. And Pepe Larraz, I think he has a Black Cat cover coming out in a few months. Yeah, so like he does covers, but I can see why you chose someone else for the
he's more known for his interiors, but like he has okay, obviously I had to bring a Pepe Larraz X-Men 1 with Dugan that he's doing right now. So his exterior cover art is really good. It's very similar to his interior, and it's just good in general, right? But when when I know certain artists are like pure cover artists, like they have like this
Yeah.
different flair to their work. Love Pepe Larraz, love Alvaro Martinez Bueno. They have great cover art, but I had to go with Clayton Crane. Were
No,
you surprised
yeah.
by that choice, or?
Yeah, I was a bit surprised because, um, yeah, like I thought that you would have chosen someone like Pepe to be the guy.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
like I could, especially when you bring those two covers, you see how like one's interior, one's exterior, because nowadays for whatever reasons, the cover picture tends to be like a portrait. Like even in the back there, like you sort of see, on your wall, there's like
Mm-hmm.
Magneto, and like that's very much like a
Yeah,
portrait, like a
yeah,
painting of a
exactly.
character. Yeah, whereas back in the day, I think there was more value placed on the cover being very action like with a lot of stuff going on, so
Yeah,
that
yeah.
it'll make it seem exciting, like your X-Men 1 book. But then now that's sort of not the style nowadays. There's
It's
like,
different. Yeah,
yeah, it's different. It's different. I see
yeah.
that.
So what about you, Johnny? Who would you choose as your cover artist?
So I thought about, yeah, like I was thinking about the modern day stuff, like you were saying, because like I
Mm-hmm.
do like collecting art germ covers, which is very much like that Magneto and that Swamp Thing that you had up. But the ones that get me the most nostalgic is someone from the 80s. That's George Perez. And
Oh, okay.
yeah, and I sent you a link to a cover of his.
Yeah, so let me
That
pull
was
that
my
up,
favorite.
guys. So here
So
is a
yeah,
link.
like
Yeah.
George Perez, he did a lot of Avengers stuff, a lot of Wonder Woman,
Wow,
and
yeah.
yeah, and but my favorite things is what you have on the screen right now is those splash pages with a ton of characters. It kind of feels like a Where's Waldo thing, and
Yeah,
it's
and
just
both DC and Marvel here.
yeah, that's right. This is the cover to JLA versus Avengers, and
Wow.
yeah, like just to get DC and Marvel to agree on sharing characters like this, it's
That's
something that you
amazing.
won't see again. So it's kind of neat. Yeah, it's neat seeing every character at once, like doing something that's very special to that character. Like um,
Mm-hmm.
not to diss Alex Ross. I mean, I think he's great. Like I have his poster book, but then just compared to Alex Ross, like Alex Ross's splash pages that are analogous to this, they're usually standing with their arms crossed, with
Oh,
light
yeah.
curve going
Very
place,
stoic.
very stoic. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Whereas this one, it's like Spider-Man swinging, Sandman's coming from the bottom,
Yeah. Oh,
Green
yeah.
Lantern
That's
has some people
amazing.
in the ring. Yeah, right. It's like
Yeah. It's very
they're
dynamic.
yeah,
It's a
very
very
dynamic.
dynamic. Yeah.
Yeah, and also very unique to that character too. It's like, oh, hey, Sandman is not gonna
Mm.
stand around. He's gonna be at the floor at the
He's gonna be
Diamond
in
Walk
the
on.
sand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's gonna be in the sand. He's Sandman.
That
Yeah,
this is
and
awesome. I didn't realize that he made these crossover type
oh,
splash
this
pages.
was this is a one-off thing, and I've been trying to get this as a like I've seen this as a poster on eBay, like bootleg style, because it's basically
Mm.
nowadays impossible to get DC or
Oh,
Marvel to sell something
yeah.
together because of legal issues, and also
Interesting.
yeah, and like George Perez, he's older now, so I don't think he has it in him to make like big stuff like this anymore. I think that's the reason why he retired, is for health reasons.
Yeah.
So yeah, like that would make it even more special because yeah, like he has this in him. It's kind of cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
Man,
So
that's
then,
crazy. Yeah.
yeah. All right. So we also wanted to talk about one other possibility, right? Is
Oh, mm-hmm.
oh yeah, like so for what book are these covers going on?
So
Yours.
this is exactly why I changed. So I had one artist. I
Uh-huh.
originally had Pepe Larraz as my interior artist,
Mhm.
but I changed it because of the book that I would want to do. And I wanted to reach back into the Silver Age to have my internal artist be. So, okay, at first I was thinking about doing a limited series of like Wolverine or something, but I now want to make my book a limited series that Marvel does for Dark Phoenix. Okay.
Okay. Oh
So
wait,
let's
like
say they came
would
out
it be
with
like a reboot? Okay, sorry. Yeah.
a new limited series. So this is like a what if, right? So I'm
Yeah.
making this kind of up. So who I chose was Jack King Kirby. So I brought in an Eternals like
Oh, okay.
page
Eternals and yeah.
because like I really love his cosmic type art, right? And I would like to see how would he take a character that was kind of created after his time with Chris Claremont, and how would he do it, like in terms of where does Phoenix fit in this whole like cosmic realm of his world. So yeah, that would be my choices. Clayton Crane external or cover,
Oh,
and then
yeah.
internal Jack Kirby, but it has to be a limited series Dark Phoenix story.
Oh,
It's
that'd
very
be cool.
specific. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, yeah, I can see why you did that because like Jack Kirby, Dark Phoenix, like those are two things that you can close your eyes and you know like what it would, like his
Yeah.
style and you know that story and you can sort of imagine that being a
But
thing.
it hasn't been done yet. So
That's a cool what if. That's
or
a cool
yeah.
what if.
Yeah. What about
Nice.
yours? Well, who would
Oh
your
man.
what would your book be, and who would your internal artist be?
So my book would be X-Men just because, I just dig the X-Men and
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen a lot of George Perez X-Men covers. Like there's like one or two out there, but then nothing that's like that JLA versus Avengers #3 cover that
Yeah.
you were showing earlier. Because it's just cool that there's so many mutants out there that I could totally imagine a very cool looking like double spread of just
Yeah.
like every mutant
You'll
like
probably
jumping at
you
you
need 4 pages for
entirely.
that.
Yeah, exactly. All on Krakoa. Um,
Yes.
and for interiors, so yeah, it's gonna be an X-Men book. And for interiors, I didn't think about the story. I just thought the artist, Nick Darrington. Like I recently read
Oh, yeah.
some of his work with Bendis and on Batman Universe, which I think you have a page up right now.
Yeah, is that
And
where this is from? Batman
yeah, yeah,
Universe.
yeah. And I
Nice.
just like that style of comic book storytelling where it's sort of simple, almost like the Batman animated series, but with
Mm-hmm.
its own
Mm-hmm.
style, like like not Bruce Timm per se, and
Yeah.
also this like flow. There's like very modern storytelling with just like a lot of flow and action, and
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
what she's using is like, yeah. With this one, there weren't any words in the. Well, I think there were some words in the book itself, but what you remember the most is how like you don't need any panels for this spread. It's just like one continuous story
Yeah,
that's like
it
in the
is.
comic book. Yeah.
Nightwing and Batman just like, going through this whatever this place is. This is pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So going to some taking care of business. Yeah. So
Yeah.
those would be my
But
two.
this
It'll
would be
be
X-Men though, right?
yeah, yeah,
Yours.
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm not sure what he would do special on the X-Men. I just would want to like see him do something because I didn't expect this out of the Batman book I read, and I was pleasantly surprised.
Nice. So Nick Darrington. Okay. I haven't
There.
heard too much about him, but that was a pretty cool page.
Yeah.
Huh. So then your cover, and can you go over yours again?
Yeah, so my cover would be George Perez, and
Mm-hmm.
just by the way, listeners, like the accent mark is over the first syllable of Perez, so that's what I'm saying it like that.
You're
A lot
not
of
saying it
people
weird.
say
Okay.
Perez. Yeah, I think that's how a lot of people might see that name because it's the most common. That's the typical way to pronounce it, but it's Perez.
Okay. Thank
Okay,
you.
done. I'm done being a jerk. But
Okay.
yeah, yeah. So
So yeah.
yeah, it's be George Perez cover art, Nick Darrington interiors on an X-Men book.
Nice, nice. And yeah, mine is Clayton Crane cover, Jack Kirby interior, Dark Phoenix limited series. So this has been a really cool conversation. We could definitely talk for a whole hour about this and dive into like different storylines and whatnot. But of course, we want to hear from our viewers, our listeners about their thoughts about if they had their own variant cover. Who would your cover artist be? Who would your interior artist be? And what book or what title would you want it to be in? Please put that in the comment section below. We'd really love to hear about that and even other what if types of questions you'd like to hear us talk about. So any closing remarks, Johnny?
Yeah, yeah. Thanks for bring me on and talking about this. It's always fun to just imagine cool stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. It's one of the things, and I want to close it off like this is we've been doing like a lot of like more like I guess more serious type of topics, and this is like kind of the one where we could ourselves like use our own imagination with the information we know about comics to like kind of dream bigger and dream something different than what we see in front of us. So definitely I think everyone should kind of play around with their own thoughts, because if this is something that they love, of course like they have their own thoughts about it. Talk to people about it at your LCS, message us on Instagram, email me at climbingcomics@gmail, anything. Just it'd be fun to chat with people about this type of topic. So if you like this video, please don't forget to give me that thumbs up, subscribe, and click that bell icon so you're notified of when we come out with new content. From our comic journey to yours, make it your own. Thanks all. Bye.